I helped my son through stages of epilepsy, which he is now fully recovered after 4 years of effort. He's fine, totally fine. There is hope. There is absolutely hope. Yes. Sarge was about 4 years old, and he and I went for a walk on the beach, and he had a grand mal seizure. And that was really the beginning of this whole program.
My mother was told I had autism. My father was told I had Huntington's chorea, that I wouldn't live past the age of 8. When I lived past the age of 8, I wouldn't live past the age of 12. And really the only support that my parents were getting from Children's Hospital in Boston was, medication, more medication, different combinations of medications, and no medical cocktail that they were able to come up with was ever able to prevent me from having seizures.
I can remember driving into Boston very often with tears just streaming down my cheeks because I was so upset about the fact that we weren't making a whole lot of progress. It was a devastating time. The turning point, I think, came after about 3.5 or 4 years. But we went to 2 people, and they treated kids who had neurological issues. We went down there and spent a week living in a motel, and they had Sarge all day long, and they were fabulous. They were not doctors, but they certainly knew what they were doing. And they watched Sarge for a week constantly. And when we left a week later, they gave us endless instructions. And I went home and I had a wood shop and built a brachiating ladder. And this is to teach hand-eye coordination. And they would have the kids walk hand over hand down this ladder, turn around and come back. He did that all the time, did that over and over again during the day. He'd do the somersaults over it. He was patterned over and over again. He was suspended and twisted over and over again. And we had a blackboard, and everything was listed on the blackboard. And as we went through this routine, we'd check off what we'd done. We called it the program. During this time, we were cutting back on his medications. September came, we felt that he was fixed, and he was fixed. He never had another seizure. He started school in September, and that's the end of the story.
I went from being the child who was drooling all over his paperwork and severely toxic on all these drugs. My eyes were nearly swollen shut because of the toxicity. My gums overgrew my teeth. So I used to have to go into the dentist, and he would just cut my gums back to expose my teeth again, but unable to give me any medication because he could have slipped me into a coma because of the level of medication I was already on. So that was done without pain medication. And it was an incredibly difficult, challenging childhood. But I went from being that severe kid with, severe learning disabilities and just completely uncoordinated to doing really well academically and being the captain of a couple of the teams that I was on and socially fine in about 4 years' time.
I always felt very proud of how he handled it. He just went at it full speed ahead. That made me very proud of him. He did a terrific job. I think he knew that he was missing a lot. And I think he just was determined to get himself better. He had the mental attitude, damn it, I can do this, and I'm going to do it. And he did it.
I've been in the really fortunate position for, I believe it's 28 years now, to be able to use these same techniques to help lots of other families make similar recoveries for their kids. I worked with a boy named Alex, who felt very much like a boy, but when he started working with us, he was over 30 years old. And severe autism, very overweight, no language, and we worked intensively with him. And he was able to go out on runs, he was playing kickball, he was telling jokes, you know, he could discuss what he had done the previous day, so he didn't make a full recovery. But at 30, he made massive strides. And I'm working with kids who have institutional trauma and attachment and bonding disorders, just making incredible strides. So it doesn't matter what the diagnosis is. You're looking at a dysfunction in the brain, and you're looking at how that dysfunction is presenting. And you can change that at any age.
I kept saying he's going to get better. He just has to get better. She thought he might end up in an institution. I don't think I ever thought that. I thought that somehow we'd get him fixed. And we did. I think it was a combination of really hard work, 5 years of effort, and it worked for us. So don't give up. Don't give up.